On this week's UBC From Here, UBC Okanagan's Faculty of Education innovates for the future.
Part of the reason why we have a lot of innovative programs in the Faculty of Education is because we were really mindful about who we hired.
Students find comedy as a hobby.
I did poetry slams when I was younger with slam poetry, and they were strange because either people would go up there and they'd say funny things, or they'd say very, very shocking and like deeply personal things. I'd go up there and I'd say funny poems about girls, and I did that for a while before I realized I kind of just wanted to say the funny stuff.
And going global.
Well, one of the great things about Go Global is that all of your courses transfer. So the credits that I received in Christchurch will also be part of my degree over here.
Hi, and welcome to this week's UBC From Here. I'm Carly, a fourth-year psychology student on the Okanagan campus of UBC. The Faculty of Education is being recognized for its innovative approach in creating a new generation of teachers.
We like to think about education as the art of living. So it's not just about education for the workplace and what you're going to do next in life. It's about how to take up life in a meaningful way.
If we think about the stress for teachers as well as students, we see that mindfulness can offer us certain paradigms, strategies, and approaches which help diffuse that stress. One of our research directors here at the Faculty of Education, through a program called SMART, to be able to go into the schools and to research and really study the impact of mindfulness-based training on teachers' lives and students as well.
Part of the reason why we have a lot of innovative programs in the Faculty of Education is because we were really mindful about who we hired. So we thought that when we build our faculty, being a small campus, small university, we didn't want to hire experts that work in silos. So we have a lot of really innovative people, and we decided to think about who do we want to be and to reflect upon our location, our region. And living in the Okanagan, we have a big tech industry. And that was one of our decisions to have the Innovative Learning Center.
The fact that the faculty has embraced the Innovative Learning Center, which is an output of probably my zillion years worth of educational experience and research, speaks volumes. The notion of appropriate technologies and technologies to lead pedagogical innovations is well received. And right now the ILC, it's booked, it's full.
I chose this program because I wanted to become an educator in a specific area. I considered teaching as giving information from the head of a teacher to students. And now I understand that this is not the same thing. Both students and teacher work together on the mind creation.
As a graduate student in education, I explore opportunities to bring design into education and help students and educators to experience design thinking and design process as a creative way of problem solving.
We hope to make a big difference in education in two areas. I think the area of design thinking, using appropriate technology, and really thinking about innovative ways of how we teach beyond the classroom and what that can look like. The other area we stand to make a difference is in mindfulness, more contemplative approaches to education, where we're really worried about preparing teachers who are resilient, that have a lot of self-awareness, that understand about the social and emotional needs of learners, and they'll bring that into the work that they do.
Be the person.
Be the person.
Who knows how to watch out for their friends, especially those under the influence of drugs or alcohol.
Who stands up to rape culture and avoids using offensive, sexually inappropriate language.
Who understands what sexual assault really is, which includes any unwanted sexual contact or activity.
Be the person.
Be the person.
Be the person.
Be that voice. Be the voice of Sarah.
While many students spend their free time hanging out with friends, a couple students from UBC's Okanagan campus are spending their time honing their stand-up comedy chops.
Hey everybody, my name is Amar Singh, which is a traditional Indian name, roughly translates into please search me at the airport. I did poetry slams when I was younger with slam poetry, and they were strange because either people would go up there and they'd say funny things or they'd say very, very shocking and like deeply personal things. I'd go up there and I'd say funny poems about girls, and I did that for a while before I realized I kind of just wanted to say the funny stuff.
Hello, my name's Kyle Padden, and I'm not very competitive. I tried out for basketball 4 years in a row in high school, and I didn't make the team once. And it was awkward because my dad was the coach, and I was homeschooled. Comedy really came into my life because I lived in Penticton, and I had a couple of friends, and we'd always hang out, and people would be like, hey, you guys are funny. You should be comedians. And they were joking, but we took it seriously, and we went to an open mic. And I actually met Umar at the open mic in Vancouver before we both went to UBC. And that's how I started.
So as far as like balancing and juggling comedy and then like my school life and then the other things that I like to do, I haven't quite done it yet. I'm kind of a nerdy person. I like science. I enjoy it. And there's also just, there's all these other like I'm Indian. My parents have raised me a way where I'm like kind of practical in a strange way. And so I feel like I need to go get a job, a real job, an important job, in case comedy doesn't work out.
I don't think that having comedy with me while I'm at university is a difficult transition or difficult to keep up. I think since I'm in management for the first year, my classes are pretty easy. Like I'm not in the sciences or anything. So I can like do a Wednesday night book show and then the next day go to classes and be peachy.
Some of my classmates have seen me and they've seen Kyle doing comedy, and they thought maybe I want to give this a try, and they did. They weren't good, but hopefully they'll get there. That's what we hope anyway.
I don't see the business side of comedy yet, because I don't get paid ever. I don't know where comedy will take me in the future. I try to be realistic when I think about where comedy will take me. I think like maybe I'll be like at a bar eventually still doing this, but at the same time being a business manager somewhere else. The comedy scene, at least in Kelowna, isn't very big. There's some really good comics that are there, but they just don't have what we have to be able to be going to university at the same time. I look so young. You know how people go through phases, like the goth phase or the jock phase? I'm going through this phase called the third trimester. But don't worry, I'll push out of it.
My best friend Paul that I met in summer camp, I lost him in the battle of mental health.
My mom was hit by a car on my 18th birthday.
I realized depression runs in my family when my cousin Jack took his own life.
He couldn't find help, and it was too late.
After the accident, everything fell apart. I lost control.
I didn't realize I was depressed until it was too late.
I wish he could have found help sooner.
I wish I would have known where to find help.
I'm glad I was able to get help.
Hi and welcome to this edition of UBC's Next Big Thing. I'm Rosemary Jean Thompson. UBC has hosted a program called Go Global Exchange. We partner with over 150 different universities around the world in 45 different countries, and it's a great opportunity for students to get out there and experience what it's like in the world, and it'll help them enhance the education they're receiving here. With me is Amy Chahal. She is a third-year student studying cultural studies here, and you just recently returned from New Zealand with the program.
Yes, I did. I was studying in Christchurch on the South Island, and it was so wonderful.
Tell me why you decided to be a part of this program.
Well, I was always very drawn to the landscape of New Zealand. I saw these mountains and the ocean, and I was blown away by the beauty. And also I was fascinated by the Maori culture, the indigenous people of New Zealand. So I was really intrigued by both the culture, the people, and the landscape and the outdoor opportunities. I love hiking, so it was a natural choice.
How did you see that fitting into the education you're receiving here at the university? Blending the experience there?
It definitely fits really well. So studying cultural studies, we're looking at things like gender and race and class. Understanding the population of New Zealand and their multicultural, bicultural system was so enlightening and so insightful in contrasting it with how things are here in Canada. I took a course there called Ethnicity and History. And that course was interesting to see anthropological issues at work in a different setting. So I also took a course called Rebuilding Christchurch, and that was service-based learning. And that was a different kind of experience because Christchurch had experienced 2 big earthquakes. So the city was pretty much devastated. So this course was all about service projects and helping around the city.
So what do you think you gained from being in another country where, especially in Christchurch, as you've mentioned, because they've gone through such a horrific time there. What was it that you noticed right away and that you gained from this experience, just being there?
I gained a lot of really great friendships with Kiwis, with other exchange students. I developed a good relationship with my professors. But I think the biggest thing that I gained was an insight into myself. I think I grew as a person through living in a different context and learning to be self-reliant and planning out where I was going to be traveling and my day-to-day life. So I think it really taught me self-reliance and increased self-awareness, and therefore impacting my entire educational experience and my whole life.
What was the schooling like? How did it differ in the education itself to what you've been experiencing at UBC?
Well, the University of Canterbury is a really interesting example because they lost a lot of students due to the earthquakes. So there was 3,000 to 4,000 students less than before the earthquakes. They were really motivated to make a difference in their community, and the Student Volunteer Army, which gained media attention all around the world, was started at the university. Well, one of the great things about Go Global is that all of your courses transfer. So the credits that I received in Christchurch will also be part of my degree over here. So I didn't get behind at all, and it was just really an enrichment of my education. And I would encourage anyone who was thinking about going abroad to just do it. I had an amazing experience in New Zealand, such an amazing experience. But coming back taught me how much I really value living in the Okanagan and what it's like to have a community that, you know, has not been affected by earthquakes, that is thriving and beautiful.
Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing your story with us, and all the best in the rest of your time here at the university.
Thank you.
And there we have it for this edition of UBC's Next Big Thing. Until next time, I'm Rosemary Jean Thompson. Make it a great week.
That's it for this week's UBC From Here. For more stories from the Okanagan campus, visit ubco.tv. I'm Carly, and thanks for watching.